Hey guys, Adam here with AmericanTrucks.com, and today we're taking a closer look at, listening to, and installing the MagnaFlow Direct Fit Replacement Muffler, available for the 2019 and newer 5.7 liter Ram 1500 with the factory dual exhaust. Before we jump into things, if you have a Ram Classic, this isn't going to be for you, and if you have a single exhaust Ram, this isn't going to be for you. There are other options in the category, however, to fit your truck. This one's going to be for the factory dual exhaust with the new body style. You should be checking this out, as you just heard from our sound clips, if you're looking for a muffler that's a lot more free-flowing and that's going to give you a more moderate deep throat sound. As you just heard from our sound clips, I'm giving this 2 out of 5 on our loudness meter when it comes to sound for a muffler alone. Now obviously just the muffler isn't going to produce the same amount of volume and sound as a full catback, so you can't really compare those two, but in terms of mufflers, this one's going to be pretty moderate, like I said. The sound that you get out of this is, again, deeper than the factory one. It's not adding a ton more volume, maybe a little bit louder, but ultimately it's really the tone that's going to change here. You get a deep, aggressive V8 powered sound that you want out of your 5.7 without going too overbearing. Inside the cabin, not a whole lot changes. You get a little bit more of those deep sounds, but really outside is where you get the full effect. At wide open throttle, it increases the volume a bit, but it's still going to maintain drivability. Even at highway speeds, you can expect no drone inside the cabin, making it perfect for the daily driver or the guys taking long road trips. This one here is made from a 409 stainless steel with mandrel bent tubing, 3-inch inlet, 3-inch outlet there, so it matches up with the factory exhaust extremely well. The 409 is going to be that middle of the road option, which we'll take a closer look at later on during our stock comparison once we get the factory muffler off. This 409 stainless is going to be good for corrosion and rust resistance, especially paired with the polished finish it comes with right out of the box. The muffler here is a bullet style muffler, significantly smaller than the factory one. It's a chambered muffler, so it is going to mitigate that sound a little bit there without being as restrictive as the factory one. The price tag for this is going to come in right around $400, and the install is going to get 3 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter. It does require cutting your factory muffler off. You're going to unbolt it from the flange portion, but on the opposite side or the back side of the muffler, you do have to cut it off with the factory dual exhaust. So you are going to want to have some expertise or experience on deck handling some proper cutting tools. I'm going to recommend a Sawzall and a metal thin curved blade. Now the install is going to take you about an hour from start to finish. It really is extremely simple. 2 bolts, 3 hangers, 1 cut. From there, you'll just clamp this guy back onto the new exhaust so you don't have to worry about welding. I'm going to walk you through every step of the install there, so what do you say we get started? Tools used in this install include an impact gun or a ratchet. 16mm swivel socket is recommended, but a regular deep socket will work just as well. 17mm wrench, PB Blaster or WD-40, and a hanger removal tool. My cutting tool of choice is a Sawzall with a thin curved metal blade. First step for the uninstall, there is some cutting. So I've got my Sawzall here with a thin curved metal blade. What we're going to do is start on the rear end of our muffler, toward the rear of our truck. We're going to cut right up against the weld that connects the muffler to the extension pipe that splits into the dual exhaust. So you're just going to basically use that weld there as a marker and cut directly next to it all the way through. Now when you're cutting, you want to make sure you have the proper eye protection. I recommend also using some gloves. Now that the cutting's out of the way, grab a hanger removal tool. We're going to pop the 2 hangers off right above the muffler. I am using a pole jack underneath of our muffler just for some added support. All right, there's one more hanger by the flange that we're going to have to disconnect. You also want to make sure you're pulling off that ground strap. So we disconnect that, use the hanger tool to pop this guy off. Next, switch over to a 16mm socket. I'm using a swivel socket just to make life a little easier. Get the 2 bolts off of that flange. Once you get the second bolt out, this whole thing is free. I have a pole jack on the other side for support. Just make sure you're ready to grab it. From here, you can lift the entire thing off in one piece. So we got our factory muffler cut off of our 19 Ram here, and it's on the ground next to our MagnaFlow Direct Fit Replacement. Now, I want to take you through some similarities and differences between the two kits here, and I gotta say, the only similarity is really gonna be fitment. Everything here is gonna be very similar in that sense, but when it comes to quality of materials, you're getting an upgrade there. And of course you can see just the sheer size of this is completely different. Your factory muffler is very limiting, it's very restricting in terms of airflow. It's also gonna muffle down a lot of that V8 power sound that you wanna get out of your 5.7 Hemi. Now when swapping over to your MagnaFlow, you can see this is a really small bullet style muffler. It's made of a mandrel bent 409 stainless steel with a mirror-like shine polish on top. And keep in mind guys, you're never gonna see this, right? It's under the vehicle, but that polish on top is gonna help with added corrosion and rust resistance. Now 409 stainless is sort of that middle of the road quality material option in the category. It's not as pricey as 304 stainless, but it's a lot more durable than aluminized, so it's great for guys located in wintry weather areas like we are here on the East Coast, which we know can corrode away some of those underbody materials, especially when it comes to the exhaust. Now when it comes to bolting this guy up, we did have to of course cut off our factory muffler right before it splits into the dual exhaust. This is going to now just clamp right into place. No welding required, making it a whole lot easier. Now on the other side, we have a flange already welded onto the pipe and a new gasket included in the kit to make sure we're getting a leak-free seal. With that said, what do you say we bolt this thing up? We'll start with the flange and then work our way over to the hangers. First step of the install, I'm going to take our muffler with the clamp included in the kit, slid onto the outlet side, slide that onto the portion of the factory exhaust that we cut off. And if you need to, you can go all the way to the flange side and push it so it seats all the way in. Next up, I'm going to connect our hanger above our muffler to the isolator already on the frame there. I did lubricate this isolator beforehand. I used PP Blaster. WD-40 does the trick as well, just makes life a little bit easier. All right, now we can do the other one right next to it. Just to help us line the other one up, I'm using a pry bar here just to pull on the exhaust to get that hanger to then line up with that new isolator. Next, we can do the hanger that's right next to the flange on the other side. Next step is going to be to insert the gasket in between both flanges, the factory one and the new one. You're going to take the new bolt included in the kit and slide it through, making sure it goes through both flanges and the gasket. We've got the split washer on one side, followed up with a nut on the other. And do that for both sides. All right, once those guys are lined up, tighten both of them down. It's a 16mm bolt head and a 17 nut. Now we can tighten down the clamp on the muffler outlet side. Once that's tight, you're good to go. That's gonna wrap up my review and install for the MagnaFlow direct fit replacement muffler for the 19 and newer 5.7 liter Ram 1500 with the factory dual exhaust. And again, you can get yours right here at AmericanTrucks.com.